Good morning, dear students. We are studying the principles, the scientific management principles, and we have studied about F.W. Taylor, who has developed these principles. And now we are going to study about the features of scientific management. What are the main features of this scientific management? Based upon the above definitions, the following are the main characteristics of scientific management, the features or characteristics of scientific management. So we have in the previous class we have studied about the definitions, different definitions of scientific management, and based on the definitions we can understand there are some characteristics or features of scientific management. First of all, first one is a systematic approach. Scientific management is a systematic approach to management, and its use ensures that all activities are coupled in a systematic and scientific manner. So here, scientific management, as the name indicated, it is as you can see, like it is scientific management. So this is the management done in a scientific manner. There is a systematic way of dealing with the problem. So like if we have a problem, then a step by step solution or making through different experiments are made, and such a way the solution is made. So there is a systematic or a scientific approach is there towards the in the way of solving this problem. So here in the scientific management, always there is a systematic approach is available. So first feature of this one is that brings complete mental change. The attitude is changing, the mental change is there. So here systematic management brings about a complete mental change both in the owners as well as the employees of the organization. Both the parties start aiming for more and better production targets rather than merely chasing higher profits. So earlier, see, like before the existence of scientific management, the attitude of so there was no much like a connection between the management or the owners and employees were not there. So they see, like the employees were considering as managers, or the owners as like boss, or they are like their enemies, like, you know. So they both were considering like that. The managers or the owners were considering employees are their enemies. But now, after like scientific management, with the help of the scientific management, they came to realize that both of them are required, you know. So and both of them have to mingle. They have to coordinate each other. Then only the work will be going to, towards the success. You know, see, like the employees has to work for the organization. Employees has to work for increasing the profit for the owners, and the owners should bring give a share of profit to the employees. Means that is like when we are getting more profit, they should understand. The managers have to understand that the profit that we are enjoying is the result of the hard work of the employees. So we should give something more to the employees. So this give and take policy is there. So in such a way, the relation between the managers and the or the owners and the employees will be increasing. So good relation will be built up. So such a way, the organization, the people will be working for the higher productivity and success of the organization rather than making simply some profits. Okay, so when employees are getting benefit, see, like if when I am working in a company and the company is taking care of me, company is providing me all the facilities, company is taking care of me, my all needs, then what will happen? I will have an attachment towards the company, and I will work towards work for making this company more successful, isn't it? So when the company is spending money for me, when the company is taking care of me, then I will give more work to the company. So that responsibility. So when the company is giving more salary to me, when company is giving more facilities to me, then my responsibility to perform in the organization will be increasing. So this kind of attitude, their change in the attitude will be there. Okay. Then next is the discards traditional management. The approach of scientific management completely discards traditional management. It calls for the discarding of old techniques and adoption of new and modern techniques with the aim of improving the efficiency of employees. This is nothing but the outcome of complete change in attitude. So the traditional methods is there, like hire and fire method. Earlier it was there, like call somebody, give them some work, and let them just give them firing them, or give them some very hard work and send them out. Okay, so this kind of a method was there. So they were thinking that the managers or the owners were thinking that if we there is no need of taking care of the employees. So that was the attitude of the workers, or like the owners. They were thinking that like the owners were thinking that the workers are just like slaves. Like they are coming, they will work and they will go out. And if they go out, then we get another employee. Isn't it? So that is there. So that was the attitude. But now this has changed. That attitude has entirely changed. So they start treating the employees, treating the workers as part of the organization. Okay. So then what happens is that they will start working more better. Okay. So and also the employee turnover is not increasing. Okay. So if the one employee is coming to the organization, he will be working in the organization for many years. So what will happen is that, see, like an employee is coming to the organization and he will be working, regularly working. So one day he will work, or 1 year if he is working, after next year when he is working, his productivity will be increasing. Okay. Normally if an employee is able to produce only 10 output, and after working like few months, or even after working one year, his productivity will be increasing to 12 output or 13 output, because he becomes specialist in that, isn't it? So regularly he is doing the same job again and again, so he will become expert in doing that, and his productivity will be increasing. But if or as per the old method, if a new employee is coming to the organization and he is producing 6 or 7 output, and he will work for some 2-3 months, or after 1 year he will leave, and then another employee will come. Then the next employee will also start a 6 or 7 output only. So there is no much increase in the output is not there, and we are paying salary to them, same amount of salary. But here what is there? See, like 1 year the employee is coming, 6 or 7 output or 8 output he is producing, and some amount of salary we are giving. But next year we will be increasing the salary, little bit amount of salary we are increasing, but output will be increasing. So total output when the entire organization will be working, then perfection of the product also. So they will work for the benefit of the organization. So the product will be becoming of high quality products will be there. So experienced people are there. So when same person is doing the work again and again, then he will become an experienced person. So when the experienced worker or experienced person will be there, he will be able to produce more high quality product without much wastage. So when the wastage is reduced itself, the total profit will be there. So there is no much waste, or a loss of money is not there. The loss of resources will not be there. The next one requires strict observance of rules. Scientific management requires very strict observance of rules, because the rules are formed only after due analysis, and there is very little chance of error in them. Unless the rules are followed strictly, the scientific thing given to the management may fade away, making it no different from the traditional management. So there are a strict observation of the rules are there. So there are so many rules made, and all the employees in the organization has to strictly follow the rules. So these rules are made after so many analysis. Simply they have not made any rule. Okay, a rule is made after going through lot amount of discussion, lot amount of experiments. They see, like the managers, they have used this method in many other fields, and after that they have tried in different companies. So after going through different processes, after going through different experiments, they make the rule, and they will be strictly following the rule. There is no any kind of violation of the rules, or rules violation will not be permitted. So the employees have to follow the rules in a strict manner. If they don't follow the rules in a strict way, then what happens is that it will become like the traditional method. There is no any difference in that. So if they have to follow the rules, whatever may be the rules given, then they have to follow in a strict manner. The next step we have to study is improve the efficiency of the workers. The main aim of scientific management is to increase the efficiency of the workers. This is done through conducting various kinds of studies, such as time study, motion study, and fatigue study. the efficiency of the workers will be increasing. So how the efficiency? The efficiency means we have studied about efficiency. Efficiency means that completing the task, keeping in mind the cost or completing the task in a cost-effective manner. Okay. So efficiency is very much necessary for doing a job. Okay. And while when we follow the scientific management, then the efficiency can be increased. So like if the efficiency means the productivity will be there. So like if a person is there who is able to produce 10 output, and out of 10 output, see like one day he is after doing one month of work, he is able to produce 10 output. Okay, so totally he is producing maybe like a total 12 products he is producing. In that 2 defective products may be there. So total output will be 10. Means that good quality products will be 10. Okay, this is the condition after 1 month. So the first month this situation will be there. Okay, so then in the second month what will happen? His productivity will be increasing to 13 products, and the defective products may be remaining still 2. So then, but the total output has increased 1. After 1 more, then his total production may increase, as well as his productivity will be reduced. His chance of mistake will be increasing. So then, the total production will be 13, and by next or after the 4th month or next month, total productivity is increased and there is no any wastage. Okay, chance of mistake is not there. So then it will become total 15. So out of 15 products produced, 15 products has been used. So here 12 products have been produced. In that 2 defective products were there, and only the 10 output is there. So now the increase in the total increase in the productivity is there, and there is no wastage, less amount of wastage. So it will be there in a cost effective manner. The production has been completed in a cost effective manner. So efficiency has increased. Okay, so in the first stage, second stage, so this may take a different so like it is as I have given, it is in different months, so it may take more months also, but it will be there. So it's like if I am doing a work, after doing 1 month or 2 months same work again and again, when we are doing, we will become expert in that. So specialization will be there. So in this specialization, the benefit of specialization can be made use when we use these scientific techniques. So in order to understand, or in order to come to this level, what we have to do is that there are so many studies conducted. Work studies conducted, time studies conducted, and fatigue studies conducted. Okay, so work study, so we have to study about these type of studies in detail. Just as an example I am telling, work study means that how a work is performed. So we will study about the work, how the work is being done. So what are the way that the work is done. So we will study and we will analyze about whether the work is doing in a proper manner or not, and if there is any mistake in that, we will try to find out the mistakes of that and try to remove the mistakes. So that is the one method. Okay, so the second one is about a time study. Time study means that to understand about the time required for producing an output. See, like 1 unit of output. See, like as I told you, like one day a person is able to produce total 12 output. Okay, so for producing 1 output, how much time is spent? Okay, in a day, how much, like 1 hour time or 30 minutes time or 45 minutes time. So whatever may be the time required for producing, and how this time can be reduced. See, like if an employee is taking 1 hour time for making a product, and if that work can be completed in 55 minutes or 50 minutes, then more number of products can be produced. So there may be some kind of wastage of the time. So that will be calculated. Another one study is conducted is about a fatigue study. Fatigue study means that how an employee is getting tired. Okay, so how much time amount, how much rest interval is required between the different periods. See, like if a person is working, see, like when you are coming to the school, regular classes are there. So you have after 2 periods you have given a break is there. So 5 minutes break is given, and after that again after 4 periods, means again after 2 periods you will have a lunch break. Then after that again 2 periods, then there is a short break. After that 2 more periods. So that there are total 8 periods are there, and out of 8 periods, after 2 periods you will have a break, each 2 periods. So such a way, this is a systematic study conducted, and we understand. So like one class, see, like when one class is conducted, it is made it into maximum of 45 minutes. 30 to 45 minutes is the duration of a class. So yes, student can concentrate particularly on that one particular subject, not more than 15 minutes itself. Okay, so that is why. But we have to like in between. So during the class also, the teacher will be giving some breaks and all, or some exercises and all, and motivate the students. And such a way they will come back to the same. So maximum time for one period is given as 45 minutes. And when it goes to the college level and all, 1 hour time is given. Means like your concentration level will be increasing when you go to college level. But now your concentration level is there. So even if you concentrate when you are studying, your personal study also when you do, you have to keep these things in your mind. It is not possible that today morning you get up and study for all throughout the day. Not possible. If you study like that, you will not understand anything. Okay. So there should be break. So about that, fatigue study is there. So fatigue study means that how much amount of rest interval is required between different periods or different works. So when you are doing a work, how much time you have to continuously work, then how much time of break is required. So such a way the studies are conducted. So in that way, different kind of studies will be conducted, and based on that, we will be studying about the different how to increase the efficiency of the workers, so that we will understand. So these are the different features of scientific management. Okay, the remaining portion we study in the next class. Thank you so much.